Welcome to the House of Hammer, built by the nation for the nation. Welcome to Raider Nation News today. I am your host, I am your tribal chief, and I go by the name of Hammer.
Acknowledge me.
Hope everybody's having a great Wednesday wherever you guys are at. Those coming on in, y'all know the routine. Those new in here, let me teach you real quick. Break them thumbs, hammer that sub, smash the bell to stay up to date with all your Raiders news, rumors, updates, live streams, and reactions. We will have the presser, our weekly Wednesday. Uncle Pete, Geno Smith, Ashton Jeanty coming up in another 15 minutes. I wanted to get on a little bit early. We're going to try to get through this. Hopefully it's done by the time I have to leave for work. We have, about an hour, 15 minutes, so we should be good to go. I'm putting a goal bar up here, guys. We have like 7 days left for the end of this month. Trying to get that new phone immediately. This thing is driving me up the wall where I'm ready to Gronk spike this thing, but I still need my phone for the time being. Every little donation, every little super chat matters right now. Again, we have 7 days left. Let's try to run this up as quickly as possible. Let's do a quick roll call. Anthony's in the building. Salute. Terry, what's good? Pablo, what's good? Alex, what's good? KB, what is good? Salute to the 19 in here. 14 likes already. Get those up as quickly as possible. We're on Twitch. We're on YouTube. We're on X today. You guys want to be a part of the conversation? Come on over to YouTube, Raider Nation News Today. Hit that subscribe button. It does not cost you a thing. And the membership, you want to really support me, support the channel, keep the lights on here. The link is pinned for the memberships at the very top of the chat. So let's get into it. Oh, the mod bomb is back. You haven't been around in so long. I hope all is well. And I know it was like, what, a week ago? But happy birthday. Week 4, guys. Week 4. We are back home. We face Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams, and the Chicago Bears at Allegiant this coming Sunday. Me and Graf will be live, as always, for our live play-by-play of that game. We know what the Bears did against Dallas over the weekend. Dallas is just looking like a complete shit show right now. Not to say that we're not with our own issues. A lot of things have transpired around the NFL within the last couple of days. I know I wasn't on yesterday, but a lot of shaking, a lot of moving has been done. Bo Hardegree, our former interim offensive coordinator, was just promoted again from QB coach to offensive coordinator under Brian Callahan and the Tennessee Titans a couple of days ago. The New York Football Giants have announced that first-round pick quarterback out of Ole Miss, Jackson Dart, will be making his first start this coming weekend against the Chargers, if I remember correctly. The Falcons had fired their wide receivers coach. Michael Penix got benched over the weekend for Kirk Cousins. There's a lot going on. And Nick Bosa tore his ACL. Najee Harris has torn his Achilles, if I remember correctly. So it's been a lot of things going on throughout the NFL. Not to say that we still don't have our own issues. Again, the whole struggle, the power struggle, that's what it seems like, with head coach Pete Carroll, Brennan Carroll, our offensive line coach. And I said power struggle, and you know who we're here to talk about right now? Jackson Powers Johnson. Hopefully we get some type of clarity going into this press conference and hear something from Uncle Pete that's a little bit more positive moving forward. We know this past weekend, that loss against the Commanders, he was available. They did not play him at all. Kappa started at right guard. Hoping that this coming weekend that we do see JPJ back in the lineup. We all would preferably want to see him at the center position, but it's probably going to be right guard again. But we need to clean this up and clean this up quickly, especially sitting at 1-2, three-way tie in our division right now with the Broncos, with the Chiefs. It's crazy to even see that that's where we all are sitting in the same boat right now. But we need to at least come out of this game 2-2. We need to get through these next few weeks and get a couple of wins under our belt as well. We have the Bears this weekend. We have the Colts the following weekend. We really need to try to lock in with these 14 games left. No matter how early it is in the season right now, every game counts from here on out, especially with this rocky start that we have had. Let's talk about it real quickly. In terms of this matchup going into this coming Sunday, I will try to get back on a couple times this week if I can. Let's go into it in terms of at a glance. Points per game for us, 17.7, which is 26 in the league. The Bears, 25.3, which is 9th in the league. Yards per game, 320.3, which is 16th for us. 347 per game for the Bears, which is 10th. Time of possession per game, 31 minutes, 10 seconds for us, which is 14th. 29:51, which is 18th for the Bears. Total defensive sacks, we have 7, which is 15th in the league. 5 for the Bears, which is 5th in the league. Total defensive interceptions, we have 1, which is 17th in the league. 4 for the Bears, which is 3rd. Total turnover differential, +2, which is 5th for the Bears. We're at -1, which is 20th. Your team leaders, for the quarterbacks, we know it's Caleb Williams, 715 yards, a 63.4 completion percentage, 7 touchdowns, 1 interception. For Geno Smith, which is weird, NFL.com has it as E. Smith. Very strange. 63.2 completion percentage, 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. So we're back at 1. 831 passing yards. Swift for the Bears, 149 rushing yards on 42 attempts, 1 touchdown, 3.6 on average. Ashton Jeanty, 144 yards, 47 attempts, 1 touchdown, 3.1 on average. Rome Odunze is their receiving leader with 227 yards on 16 receptions, 4 touchdowns, 14.2 on average. Jacoby Myers, 228 yards, 17 receptions, 13.4 on average. Now, we don't have anything as it pertains to the injury report right now. That should be released actually within an hour. And if we're still on and it's released, we will bring it to you. Hold on one second, guys. Let me just double check something. Excuse me. Oh, did not know that, but okay. That's whatever. It is what it is. I'm going to stay on. I'm going to run this up as much as I possibly can. Again, you know, it's not easy for me with my schedule, but I made sure I woke up at a decent time today and was like, hey, I'm going to jump on. We're going to talk about this. We're going to play the presser as well for you guys. So I'm going to do my damnedest to stay on as long as I possibly can. And we're going to go through everything right now. Let's see, around the league news, we did talk about some things that have transpired in terms of the changing of the guard when it comes to the starting quarterback position for the New York Football Giants. We've talked about a couple of coaching changes within the Titans, within the Atlanta Falcons as well. JD, what's good? Herman Munster, appreciate you. JPJ needs a hell of it. He already wears one that looks like the Power Rangers helmets. How much more of a bigger helmet does that dude need to wear? I don't know why this is running so slow right now. All right. So, outside linebacker Nolan Smith, tricep injury. He was placed on injury reserve. I'm going to see if there's anything on Twitter right now for us to cover. Brian Schottenheimer, and this is a quote from him, Cowboys are good enough to beat the Packers without CeeDee Lamb. Really, though? Let's get to X and take a quick look and see what we have up right now. Let's see what the latest is in the NFL. Raiders Wire have a league leader after 3 games with their player ranks in various states. Okay, or stats. Let's see. Passing yards, Geno ranks in the league second right now at 831. The passing touchdowns, he's ranked 13th. Interceptions thrown, again, he's ranked 26th. And the passer rating is 84.3, which is 20th. The rushing yards, Ashton is ranked 24th right now at 144. Rushing touchdowns, he's ranked 17th with that 1. Receptions for Jacoby Myers, 17, which is ranked 14th. Brock, 14, which is ranked 30th. Trey Tucker, 13, which is ranked 43rd. Receiving yards, Jacoby is ranked 10th in the league right now at 228. Trey Tucker, 211, which is ranked 17th. Brock, 179, which is ranked 28th. Receiving touchdowns, it goes to Trey. He's got 4 on the season. He's ranked 1st in the league. Devin White, 27 combined tackles, which is ranked 21st. 17 solo, which is ranked 9th. Tackles for loss, Devin White with 4, which is ranked 8th. It's actually a 3-way tie right now, which has us ranked 8th. Devin White, Max Crosby, Jonah Laulu. Devin White, Max Crosby, Jonah Laulu. I always like make sure I said that right. Sacks, Jonah Laulu with 3, which is 8th in the league. Max with 2, which is 14th. QB hits, Max with 4, which is 26th in the league. Forced fumbles, Thomas Booker with 1, which is ranked 6th. Isaiah Palomalo with the 1 interception, which is ranked 6th. Caillou, Blue Kelly, pass breakups, 3, which is ranked 16th. Not bad, but the record doesn't show everything, right? So it is what it is. I try to sleep as much as I can. Stop it. I really try. Come on, like really? I'll make sure I'm caught up with you guys in the chat, and we're waiting. We haven't even seen the latest installment yet. It's 3:11, so it should start in another 4 minutes or so. We'll get right to it as soon as it starts up. Again, let me check X and see if there's anything else right now. Here we go. There's the latest ones. Let's see. Jaden Daniels said he's never played with a brace before. When asked if he would have to wear one if he plays Sunday, he said the doctors have to make that decision. We just talked about Nolan Smith with the strained tricep. He's now expected to be on injured reserve. Anything else? Brian Dable had a press conference in terms of the quarterback change with the Giants to start in Jackson Dart this coming weekend, and pretty much said that it was his decision. Ultimately, you're the head coach. Of course, it's going to be your decision. Curious to know how Russell Wilson feels about that, though. Let's see. Jacorian Bennett got injured on with the Eagles, and they went to IR. He went to IR. It's a non-surgical injury. Eagles signed safety Marcus Epps, tight end Cam Latu, and cornerback Perry Nickerson to their active roster. Placed Jacorian Bennett, Darius Cooper, outside linebacker Nolan Smith on injured reserve. Signed Lance Dixon, defensive back Eli Ricks, and wide receiver Quez Watkins to their practice squad. See if there's anything else right now. The Ravens are signing veteran defensive tackle Taven Bryan to the practice squad. The former first-round pick gets added to the mix in Baltimore with Nnamdi Matabuke dealing with a neck injury. And I think we are good right now as it stands. I'm trying to see if anything else is out here right now. But no, I think right now as it stands, we're all up to date with everything. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask right now. Again, covering as much as we possibly can. There hasn't been much else that has come out around the league or from our standpoint of things either. So we shall see. And I'm very intrigued to hear what Uncle Pete has to say when he addresses the media for this presser today. Salutes and Pessimistic Frank on the 199. I was there. FDO line, FDO coach. Good Lord, man. It was brutal. It was incredibly brutal. And again, we had talked about going to that game, and it was kind of like, good, we saved our money. We didn't have to be a part of that beatdown or be witness to that beatdown live and in living color. So, again, I'm hoping. I know I was really upset the other day, and I definitely said what I said on Monday. But hopefully this turns around this coming weekend. Granted, again, we saw what Chicago did against the Cowboys this past weekend. But any given Sunday. So I'm, again, hoping that the offensive line, there are some changes and the right changes made. And we'll see how this goes for us. Coldest.com, guys. Need to continue to hydrate. T-Money said he was there too. And it was crazy because I saw a lot of posts. Excuse me. I saw a lot of posts on social media over the weekend. And it's crazy. The New England game. A lot of people traveled. A lot of Raider Nation traveled to New England. And the same went for this past weekend against the Commanders as well. I know we rolled deep, but damn. From all the videos, from all the posts and things I saw, I was just like, holy shit. And it was like, realistically, the first 2 or 3 weeks, 2 of the first 3 weeks having these games on the East Coast, it definitely was a bit of FOMO for me, knowing that New England is, maybe 3.5, 4 hours away. I think DC was about, I think it might have actually been the same distance, but things are tight right now. So it was like, yeah, I will wait. Behind the Raiders bench, Jackson. Pessimistic. I wish that we could have seen a picture of that, so that would have been one more thing for us to discuss and break down, or be pissed off about. And it's up now, ladies and gentlemen, the latest installment of As the Shield Turns. So Pete Carroll, Geno Smith, Ashton Jeanty will be at the podium momentarily, and we will bring you the presser in its entirety. Salute to the 59 in here. Make sure, if you haven't already, you break them thumbs. Hammer that sub, smash the bell. Oh, he said he got some. Oh, okay. We need to see these. I got you. We're gonna, yeah, we definitely gonna have to put that up. It's just, it was criminal, but at the same time, and I know somebody called yesterday about it, or Monday rather, called in about it in terms of they are not letting Jeanty carry the load the first few weeks, that they were kind of having him on a pitch count, if you would. But at the same time, Brock with a bad knee, he was out there. JPJ with the concussion, and we know concussions are taken a hell of a lot more seriously than they were like 10, 15 years ago. He was practicing last week, but Pete said that they were not hitting. So I guess as his precaution, he didn't play him. He was available, but he did not have him playing. So, and I do believe that the unofficial depth chart will be out probably in the if not today, then probably tomorrow. Salute to Eric. Salute. Appreciate you, man. Let's see. I don't think I'm missing anything in this chat right now. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. This show is always about you guys. I can't stress it enough. I try to address and answer every question or every comment that's made in terms of our Raiders, and Uncle Pete's at the podium, guys.
Line, I think on Monday it was. Last year, the Raiders finished with Jordan Meredith at left guard, Dylan Parham was at right guard, and Jackson was at center. Would you consider maybe going back to something like that? Is that
Absolutely
what you're talking?
not. No, we've invested a lot of time with these guys playing in their spots. I know you're interested in JPJ. This is an official week to practice and to get ready. Last week was not that. So he's ready to compete for the playing time, and he and Alex will be going at it. So it's a good situation in that regard.
When you say competing for playing time,
Jackson and anybody in 2 weeks. We got to see what he can do. So we got to check him out and see how he does.
Where's Bowers from a health standpoint with his knee?
He's been making it. You know, they've treated him well and got him to play in these games. He's still wearing a legitimate brace that he can feel, but he'll continue for another couple weeks having to wear that brace to be safe.
He said he was frustrated after last game. Is it tough when guys maybe can't do what their bodies usually tell them they can do?
Yeah, that's a very difficult thing. Yeah, it's very difficult. Yes.
Any update on Michael Mayer, how he's doing?
He's still in the protocol. He's got the procedure that he has to go through. It'll take us all the way to the end of the week to know.
Pete, any thoughts on the matchup with Caleb Williams this week? Was he a guy you watched a lot at USC when you had time?
Sure. No, yeah, I did watch him a lot and watched him a lot looking at that job too, and had a chance to check him out. And he's a very, very special athlete, and he's got great sense, great awareness about throwing the football and running the football. He'll be a prolific scrambler, and by the time we check out his years, he's really good at it and throws really well on the run too. So they have a really nice system. You can see it already coming through. Coach Ben's doing a nice job with teaching these guys, what he believes is important in offense. You can see that there's a lot of changes from when they were last year. So Caleb can do whatever you want him to do. So he's a very dangerous player to play against.
They've got an emerging young receiver too, and Roma Dunze. What challenges is he going to possess for you guys?
Yeah, he's a good player. Now, we watched him in college too. So I've seen him a lot. They're going to him. He's the leading target guy, and they'll continue to do that, I would think. He can do a little bit of everything. He's really fast. He's good size. He's tough. He's making the plays. So, we know where he is. We have to be really conscious that we can take care of him.
What stands out to you about the way Ben Johnson was about creating space for those guys?
There's a lot of it in the game against Dallas.
They had a very good game last week. They really did. They looked terrific in the game. Got ahead, jumped out early, and maintained that lead. Ben is maybe Ben setting the tone for the concepts that people are doing, or maybe he's learning from everybody else. But there's a lot of similarities in the style of offense that are coming around now, and they're very. It's a prolific attack when you're really trying to get the ball down the field as much as teams are doing right now, and he's right in the middle of all that.
Back to the offensive line real quick. Do you feel it's more reps and continuity as opposed to maybe identifying an issue here, an issue there that you can put your finger on?
Yes. Yes. Sorry.
We saw Darian take over for Caillou down the stretch in the last game. I guess how did you see him on film? What did he do? And is that a switch that you're looking to make going forward?
He did fine. He had a couple of good tackles that he made. He situated himself well in all of his looks and coverages. He's made a couple tackles on special teams too, so that was one of the things we wanted to see what he would look like. So he did a nice job, and so I'm not hesitant to play him at all.
Just what have been your impressions of Eric Stokes through 3 games?
Shoot, I think he's played great football. I think he's been our top guy out there. He's challenged everything when he had his opportunities, and he's got his wins. He's been really clean with his hands. There's nothing that he can't do. I think he can really blossom into a terrific football player for us, and we're lucky we got him.
Also, too,
Ashton Jeanty's been hit at or behind the line of scrimmage on more than 50% of his carries this season. When you look at film, what has led to that? Is that more offensive line?
Yeah, we have to get him better spacing, and we got to get him away from all those guys in the middle. So it's the whole attack. We've just got to continue to expand it. And keep him from getting hit, because he's the first one to look for hits too. He wants to hit the first thing that moves. He's tougher as hell, but we got to get him cleaner. So we're all working together to get that done.
Talk about this quite a bit after the game on Sunday. I guess what kind of things can you do to challenge a group that's been very good here for you guys in the past?
Yeah, that was a really surprising ball game. Because we've been solid for all the way through Tom's years and all of that. That was a game that those 2 carries just got away from us and made a huge difference in the game. One was a 90 and the other was an 80-yarder or something like that. I mean, you never plan on having to deal with that factor unless it's on our side. So everybody's working really hard. They're taking into account the things that they have to do and do better. We have to play better as a whole group. We just a couple guys got out of lanes on coverage and it really exploded. And our safety guys couldn't get them on the ground. I give a lot. I'm going to do this again because I love the way this guy coaches, but I'm giving Larry Izzo a lot of credit. He put together a great game plan, and his guys executed really well. And obviously, they really had their way with us.
I think the key is to get
A Tyree Wilson and a Malcolm Kuntz kind of unlocked moving forward. And how important is it?
Well, it's really important that our guys play better, and so we're trying with our combinations and mixing our looks and all of that. Malcolm has been pretty lively in his pass rush with a couple of results last week and 2 weeks ago, and we'll get him back into it. We're continue to move the rotations. It's still a work in progress, and that we're learning who's who and what they can do best, and. That may last a couple more weeks of us trying to figure that out. We need to get to it. I mean, I would love to have it nailed right now, but with the background that we've had, and this is still in progress. But the part I like about it is these guys are competing really hard for their play time and their spots, and as long as they maintain that kind of approach, then they'll keep elevating their game, and it'll be obvious what we should do. I'm sure this is going to be a real zinger right here.
There's only won 2 home games last year. It's only the 5th year that the Raiders are playing at Allegiant Stadium in front of fans. What's the mentality like of the team just trying to create this home field advantage?
Well, we're trying to create the advantage wherever we go, wherever we play, but we certainly could utilize, winning here and getting our fans really jacked and allow them to be a factor. The noise factor is always something that you can count on when you get it going. So we have to play well. Obviously in the past they haven't played well enough to get their wins, but we can't let that be. That was then, and this is now. We got to crank it up and see if we can get one this weekend and keep building from there. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pete.
I have no words. I really did you guys see the frustration on Pete Carroll's face when they first asked about the offensive line and talked about, hey, this is how it looked last year. Would you consider? No, we're not. Everybody else sees the same exact thing right now, and you are going to stick to something that is not working and has not worked the first few weeks of the season. What are we doing? Are you setting this team up for failure right now? What? Why? You saw his face. his body language said it all. Like, you were in your feelings because everybody else is seeing it and you don't want to admit it. Like, denial is not just a river in Egypt. When you're talking about competing, like, so you're gonna compete in practice, be complete ass. Oh no, you're still gonna start. What is your issue with JPJ? Geno's at the podium, guys.
Guys to go to.
Yeah, it was very valuable. I think we have, a bunch of options and a bunch of guys that can get open and make plays. The key for us is to, always get the ball into the hands of the right guy, depending on what the defense shows us. So, I'm very impressed with just how our guys are responding and making plays out there.
Looked like you guys had a big effort in training camp to get the ball to Trey Tucker, and obviously we saw the results on Sunday. How do you feel about that relationship continuing to grow?
Yeah, I think our relationship is growing. As I've said all along, I really think highly of Trey. I think he can do a lot of great things. Obviously, we're all about winning here, and so statistics and all that, like, it's an afterthought. But I thought he had a really good game. I thought he played tough throughout the game, and really gave us a shot to move the chains and get some points. But like I said, man, we got to do a better job all around.
Said after the game he's somewhat frustrated with his body and everything that's happening. When you're an athlete at your level, like, how difficult it is when your body doesn't react to how it usually does, and can you see that from him, a little frustration? How difficult is that as an athlete?
I haven't seen any frustration from him. I think if he does have frustration, I think it's internal, and he's done a good job of keeping it internal. Obviously, he's toughing through some things, and he's playing really well. I think he's still moving the same as as from what I can see, and really we just got to get him the ball. We got to find ways to get him the ball and get him more involved so he can really feel good about what he's doing. He's playing the same as I've seen. I haven't talked to him about any of that, so I haven't heard any of that. But I think, like I said, I think very highly of Brock. I think he's best tight end in the league, and it's my job to get him the ball and make sure that he is on point.
Is it difficult when you're an athlete at your level when your body doesn't respond because you want to do something so badly?
Anytime you're not performing to your maximum capabilities, I think you're going to always try to find it. You're going to try to find that and try to seek it. But to me, like I said, from what I've seen, I think he's doing a great job, and I think we just all have to do a better job of keeping him involved, getting him involved, and then obviously doing a better job as a whole.
What have you thought of Ashton Jeanty's learning curve in the NFL and how he's progressing through that?
I think he's right where he needs to be, man. I think, like, we have to help him. It's my job to help him. Like, I hate that, obviously, he's going to put a lot of pressure on himself, but he's not out there alone. It's 10 other guys out there that got to do their jobs and help him. And so, I take great responsibility in making sure that Ashton is, first of all, in the right headspace, which he is, and also, he's got the ability to go out there and make plays. And so I got to make checks, put him in position to go out there and make plays. I got to do a better job to make sure that, he's out there showing us what he can do, because when he gets in the open field, man, he's hard to stop. So we just got to get him into some more space and allow him to do his thing.
As the leader of the team, how do you make sure that all the guys in the locker room don't get frustrated by a loss like you saw on Sunday, and stay in the right headspace and go forward?
Yeah, I think we have great leadership in this locker room. I think we have a great coaching staff and a bunch of guys that are really just focused on getting better every single day. And I think if you take that your approach to it, if you just focus on getting better, you block out the outside noise, you don't think about expectations, because that could be to your detriment. You have a shot to do some great things. I think for everyone in this locker room, we're just focusing on this next game and how can we get better today in practice, first of all, and then go into the next game with the right mindset, execute our game plan the way that we know how, and get this thing done.
Geno, what are you seeing on camera from the Bears?
Yeah, really, really stout defense, man. Really tough up front. 6'5" guys across the board on their D-line. Mike linebacker with Tremaine Edmonds, who I think is a great player. I think he's one of the best middle linebackers in the game. They got great corners, safeties. Kevin Byard, a guy who's been perennial All-Pro, has made a lot of plays in his career, and they're extremely smart. They play hard. NFL defense. Another chance for us to go out there and prove ourselves. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Geno.
My bad. I want to go back to talking about Pete real quickly and what he had to say. Like, they asked you a question in terms of Jeanty being tackled behind the line of scrimmage more times than not. But you're still not making the changes on the offensive line. How is that possible? I definitely unmuted it. You guys still can't hear me? You guys still can't hear me? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Okay. All right. I just oh my God. Definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. If you have Kappa starting at right guard and we don't see JPJ on the field this coming Sunday, that is the epitome of insanity. Talk about having Raider Nation at Allegiant, at home. You know how that happens? You know how you pack out Allegiant in silver and black? You win. Somebody tell me where the disconnect is right now, because I'm not understanding why we have to sit here and like just... Adrian, thank you for becoming a new subscriber to the channel. Much appreciated. Reshuffle that and the second he stepped to the podium and they asked that question, you saw his face turn real quick. Like he was pissed. Like, again, everybody else is seeing this. You're protecting your son. Tell me I'm wrong. I would be fine. Okay, don't fire him. Let Joe Philbin take over. Let him take over as the offensive line coach. Maybe that'll shake things up. I'm at a loss for words right now because we should be sitting at least 2-1. At least 2-1. And you're doing what you're doing right now. Salute to Jake Long. Salute to Jake Long. Thank you for becoming a new subscriber. Much appreciated. Like, I'm beyond pissed right now. Jake, you know what's funny? I was watching his show yesterday, and I'm like, yo, put a link out there. Like, why not? No, I'm being funny, guys, when I say that. But I'm trying to remember. There was a certain part that they were talking about. They were talking about something yesterday. I think it had to do with the offensive line. And Lincoln Kennedy pretty much like said something. It might have had to do with JPJ not playing center. But I was just like, oh, shit. Like, all right. I'm going to leave this one alone. It's all good, bro. You're back. You're back. That's all that matters. More piss, traveled, saw that trash, and had Commanders fans open their mouths. Yeah. Spytech giving Cap a 2-year deal and out there getting pushed out. And the same thing goes with Meredith. Like, I saw Meredith I saw him as an interior guy, but I didn't necessarily see him as a center. I saw him more as a guard. This is being shoved down the nation's throat right now, and something needs to give. Like, is it going to take for another loss for you guys to wake the fuck up and maybe reshuffle it? I already said I was going to give it at least 4 weeks. Like, Pete is in press conferences now saying, oh, like, it takes time. They're still trying to build that chemistry. No. Granted, you didn't play a shit ton of snaps in the preseason. That chemistry should have been there from OTAs, throughout training camp, and throughout the preseason. Regardless of how many snaps you're playing in live action ball, you're still getting that work done together throughout practices, throughout training camp. So what are you seeing, or what are we not seeing that you're going with this offensive line? These are your starters as an offensive line. Why can't we, go back to what we had last year in a sense? No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Monday, you said that the problem was the right guard position. The way that Meredith snaps is a problem. He snaps lobs, and that's why you saw that one bounce off of his ass, no diddy if necessary, and hit the ground. In I think it was the Chargers game, if I remember correctly. JPJ, this is what he's been doing, and when he snaps, he's firing the ball to Geno. What is the problem here? And again, do you have something against this kid? I know it's not going to be said publicly. I know that. We all know that. But like, what is your issue with him? The kid is intense. The kid is violent on the field, which is a good thing, ladies and gentlemen. Like, his intensity is up there. What the fuck is going on that you don't have him out on the field? And again, if he doesn't start on Sunday, I know a lot of you in here are going to lose your minds when we do that live play-by-play on Sunday. Like, make it make sense. You're trying to compete, and we've gone along with the compete thing from the time you came here. You've talked about wanting to win or winning 10 games or more. It does not work. It won't happen unless you make those necessary changes. We have so many weapons on offense that are not. Look, we talked about numbers just now, but you're not putting up enough points. And defensive, again, all three phases of the game on Sunday, we just looked like straight ass. I just don't know what it's going to take for them to make this change and make this change quickly. Every game matters. Every game matters. And again, we're sitting here tied in our division at 1-2 with the Chiefs, with the Broncos. We need to start running away with this. Yeah, we're going to have to play catch up with the Chargers, but we need to start winning and start winning now. This shit is beyond me right now. This line better pick it up this game or we're cooked and they're destroying JPJ's confidence. Took the words right out of my mouth, Jake. Like, it's just, I'm so frustrated even hearing what I just heard. Like, make this shit make sense for us. You guys have any questions, feel free to ask. We're still waiting for Ashton Jeanty to take to the podium. Those that haven't yet, I don't know what you guys are waiting for. There's 82 in here, 41 likes, and you see it in the poll. Did you break those thumbs yet? If not, do it right now. Break them thumbs, hammer that sub, smash the bell. We do have the goal. I don't know if it changed on the thing, on the bar, but this is where we are. We're trying to get up to 900. Got to get this phone replaced ASAP. Even if you guys want to do Cash App, give me a thumbs up. I'll see if I can find the QR code and I'll put it on the screen for you guys. But yeah, last night was worse than it has been, and I was ready to just throw it across the wall when I was at work, but I can't do that, obviously. Think the Chargers win the division, but we can win 9 to 10 games. Look, we talked about it, and I said the floor was like 8. 10 or more is definitely the ceiling for us this year. I get it. It's year one. My God. Frank, I think it's roughly a little over a ban. A little over a ban. Granted, it's year one, but at the same time, I can't use that as a crutch right now either, because look what Harbaugh did last year, his first year with the Chargers. He made the playoffs. Shout out to Victor. Thank you for becoming a new subscriber. Look at what Harbaugh did last year with the Chargers. If I remember correctly, that was year one. It was year one. It absolutely was year one. They made the playoffs right alongside our other two rivals in the Chiefs and the Broncos. They lost in the first round. Justin Herbert shit the bed as he always does. And any Chargers fan that feels some type of way about that, I really don't give a fuck. But I don't think we could even use it's his first year here as an excuse right now. Again, looking at what the Chargers did last season. Like, I've talked about this in terms of the Chiefs. The Chiefs were going to get humbled this year. I don't even see them winning. They might not win even 12 games this year. They're definitely not winning 15. But we need to fucking fix this shit. We have to fix this shit ASAP. It's year one for us. Too many changes nonstop. So, Deb, again, like I just talked about it. What are your thoughts about this? Because some people will be like, oh, it's the first year. Like, it's going to take, this is a 2 to 3 year project. Do you think that there's any excuse why we can't be a team that could be fighting for maybe even a wild card spot in year one of Pete Carroll and John Spytek's tenure? We're having this discussion. I'm not obviously I'm not arguing. Like, I want to hear your thoughts, and I want to hear everybody else's thoughts in the chat as well. Like, how you guys feel about that. Oh, it's always year one for us. So everybody else in the chat, I want to hear your guys' thoughts on what I just said and what I just asked. Like, I don't think it being his first year with us should be an excuse right now. Again, you see what Harbaugh did last year with the Chargers, and they got into the playoffs. Like, I don't think that should be an excuse right now. Again, Victor, thank you for becoming a new subscriber. Much appreciated. I want to see us get this home game. I do too. I'm still waiting for Jeanty to take to the podium. We've already been on for over 40 minutes. I appreciate everybody that is hanging out with me today. Did not know that Graph was going live. I think I had scheduled mine, and I thought I was going to be good to go, but it is what it is, man. You got double dose of shield more at the same time, so hell no. There you go. I just defensively, I know people are still concerned about the corners. If we brought more pressure across the D-line, and this was another thing that we didn't see in terms of the adjustments, the second half adjustments in that loss to the Commanders. Didn't really see exotic blitzes. You really didn't see much of a change from the first half. And again, the first 2 weeks of the season, you're only averaging 3 points, giving up 3 points to your opponents in the second half. Like, what the fuck went wrong? Why didn't you make those adjustments? Right? Shout out to my Oos. I just wanted to compete and win 7 to 9 games. Next year, playoffs, still realistic in my opinion. Okay, I'd say it. I like that. I honestly feel if there was a beef, probably with Chip Kelly with his up-tempo quick play calls, and maybe JPJ was slowing down the tempo to make his Oh shit, Jeanty's at the podium.
Been progressing, lifting, trying to get some yardage, but you're out there getting reps and experience.
Yeah, I think it's progressing well. We're right where we need to be. I mean, we're gonna continue to get better. We've gotten better, and it starts with me. Like, I got to continue to get better on my reads and everything, and really get things going.
There's a statistic out there, Ashton, that you've dealt with the most contact to get your yards at, like, literally 101%. Have you seen these stats, and how do you think you've performed despite that?
I mean, I've heard people saying it, but I'm not really paying attention to it. But I think regardless, the matter of the fact, like, I think I've been doing a good job, but there's a lot of room for improvement, and, that will continue to happen.
How do you start that, progression and continuing that, especially with, like, the mental space? We were talking with Geno about sometimes it takes, like, just having that mental space to be able to progress. How do you see that working with your progression in the NFL?
It's a mindset to me. It's like, you can either look at the negative all the time and, what you did wrong and, just take it as, you're not good enough, you can't make these plays. Or you can look at it as a learning lesson of like, hey, I made these mistakes, but I can learn from these and, be better. That rule of, like, don't make the same mistake twice. So just taking that responsibility and initiative to, get better and improve.
Veteran like Geno to be able to speak with and work with it through some of these things.
It helps a lot. I mean, Geno, he's a great leader. He's been playing at a high level, and he's bringing us all along, whether it's mentally or through the X's and O's. So it's great to have somebody like that.
Blitz a ton, but what have you seen from them defensively in terms of how they try and attack you guys offensively in the passing game?
Yeah, I mean they're an aggressive tackling team. They got a lot of great guys on the defense. I think they do a good job in the passing game, but I definitely think us and with what we've been doing, the guys we got at receiver, we can definitely take advantage.
Through 3 career games in the NFL, what has the adjustment been like when it comes to pass protection?
I'd say just recognizing, what's happening quicker, you know what I'm saying? And so that, when the ball snaps, you know exactly who you got. There's no hesitation, because guys are coming off that ball quick. But at the same time, the ball does get out a lot quicker. But, yeah, I think just recognizing, executing it, and then guys a little more physical, you could say. But I just think it just comes down to fundamentals and details, and technique.
What does it mean for you when you get to lower your shoulder and hit someone? Because you're a physical running back. You're not that finesse dude. You're that physical dude.
I mean, setting the tone. That's what it is. Like, the style of playing and the identity of us as a team. Like, we're gonna be a physical football team, and that's. I feel like it starts with me in the run game. Setting that tone, and then throughout the course of the game, guys aren't gonna want to tackle you if you bring that, and then that's when you set it up to be able to make guys miss.
And obviously it comes with the territory, being a prominent player in the league. But did you see Ryan Clark's comments on ESPN at all?
Nah, I haven't seen anything. Don't really care what anybody has to say about me, anyways. So it's cool.
We were talking about veterans and leadership. I mean, you have a guy like Raheem Mostert in the locker room. Like, what does that relationship do to help you grow?
Yeah, it's a great relationship. Obviously, he's been in the league for a long time. He's done it at a high level, led the league in, touchdowns, rush touchdowns at some point. So that's a guy I'm definitely listening to, taking notes from, whether it's on the field or off the field. I got a ton of respect for him. Without
giving too much away, is there any piece of advice that he's given you that you could share with us?
I feel like I've been asked this before, but I think from him it's just like, bro, play free, have confidence in yourself, and then, so you can stay on the field, make sure you take care of your body.
Speaking of taking care of your body, Chip Kelly was talking about load management and being able to keep you fresh throughout an entire season. What were your thoughts on that? And just obviously going into a fourth quarter and not feeling like your body's taking a toll.
Yeah, I mean, whatever the coaches, the guys leading us think is best for us and the team, I'm all for it. Doesn't matter, so I'm willing to do whatever it takes for the team to win, and it feels good, I'll say, to be fresh coming in to the fourth quarter, definitely.
That drive where you guys tied it at 10, you kind of got some lanes and were opening things up a bit there. What stood out to you just about what you guys did on that drive that maybe could be glimpses for what the offense could be?
I mean, I made the right reads. O-line, came off the ball, made great blocks, and then I think, staying out, being efficient on first and second down, right? So we stayed out of those third and longs. I think that will really help us moving forward because we got into a lot of those situations last game.
How's it for you learning the offensive line, learning how their style of blocking, and also them learning you?
Yeah, I mean, it's an everyday thing of building chemistry, and it doesn't happen overnight. So it's continuing to communicate with them and them communicating, me telling them what I see and them telling me what they see, and that's only going to make us better as a team.
There were some mock drafts out there that had you pegged to the Bears. That was one of the more popular spots for you. I mean, is there any kind of added motivation, just kind of that you didn't end up lasting until the Bears, but just, having that mentality?
I mean, I wouldn't say any extra. I mean, I'm ready to play football, man. Ready to go dominate whoever it is.
I think that should.
Thank you.
So there you guys have it. That is, hold on one second, guys. So there you guys have it. Uncle Pete, Geno Smith, Ashton Jeanty. I just, I've tried not to be that angry person. And I think it was last week, I was looking back at some of the lives and I was dropping F-bombs left and right. And I hadn't done anything like that in probably 2 years. But it's just like, when is this going to turn around? And when is this going to turn around, like, for us? When are we going to win? Like, again, they're talking about players in this matchup, things we need to look out for. I just, after this game, I'll tell you right now, after this game, week 4, quarter of the season complete, I'm giving you guys my final overall regular season record prediction. And I will stand on that for the rest of the year, because I'm hoping, I think we all are, that this can be fixed and be fixed quick, fast, and in a hurry. Love Jeanty, but why can't they get others up there getting the same old answers to be expected? 1 and 2. So I don't know how long you've been around, respectfully. They do it in a certain way with specific players, and they've been doing this for years. Even when Carr was here, you would get a weekly presser, and it normally wasn't the head coach at the time. It would just be, even if it was O'Connell, it was like Carr and Devontae, or Aiden and Devontae, or yeah, like it's normally their offensive players. You don't really get much of the defensive players that much. I'm pretty sure tomorrow you're going to get Chip Kelly and Patrick Graham. And there was something that I read the other day in terms of a former Washington Commander tight end talking about Chip Kelly's offense and saying that it's a little bit too collegey. I don't even know if that's a real word, but it's too collegey for the NFL, and that's why certain things don't work right now, and that's why this offense hasn't succeeded as much. I don't know if that really has anything to do with it right now, ultimately, and I've said this 1,000 times, and anybody that's played football, anybody that's coached football will tell you the same damn thing. If your O-line don't work, your offense, if your O-line doesn't work, your offense isn't going to work. I looked at, excuse me, I watched that Monday night game with Detroit, and this is something else I had wanted to talk about. Another team with a shit ton of weapons. You got Sonic and Knuckles in the backfield. You got Amon-Ra St. Brown. You got Sam Laporta. A very high-powered offense. You know why? Because they have a solid, functioning offensive line. The weapons we have, if our offensive line was half as good as the Detroit Lions, we'd be putting up 24, 25 plus points a game on average. There's no excuse for this malpractice of coaching. His first mistake was hiring his son for the O-line in the first place. Damn. Let's see if I'm missing anything. I don't think I am, though. Damn, Zon. 3 clicks in the truth. Gaucho 1-1. Now 1-2. First game I attended, I saw Blanda starting a backup, taking snaps from Otto. Appreciate you, bro. Damn, you just keep changing it up on us. That's why. I'm like, huh? Saw that game too. Yeah, like, Detroit is the new fastest team on turf. 99 Rams 2.0. So that's the new greatest show on turf is in Detroit. Pretty factual. Hopefully this shit turns around. I'm going to do my damnedest to try to get on another couple of days before this game. We will be live, myself and Graf, live play-by-play of our Raiders at home facing Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson, and the rest of the Chicago Bears. If you haven't already on your way out, and there's still 93 of you in here, I thought we could have, well, it's really not realistic to hit 100 likes today, but people that are watching afterwards, maybe we can get up to that. Do me a favor on your way out, though, if you haven't. Break them thumbs, hammer that sub, smash the bell to stay up to date with all your Raiders news, rumors, updates, live streams, and reactions in the house that Hammer built by the nation for the nation. Raider Nation News Today. Continue to stay safe. Most importantly, be kind to one another. COVID or not, you should always remember to wash your hands and your asses. And as always, win, lose, or tie, Raider Nation till I die. Till next time, y'all. Stay committed to excellence. And of course, as always, on my New York, peace, love, and positivity. And there's that part too.
And when I leave, come together like butt cheeks.
We outro, y'all. Check the social medias above on the screen. I will put out the injury update for week 4 the second it becomes available to me. But in the meantime, or until next time rather, we outro. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. This button don't work.